the side door where we usually come into Midway, and this brings us into our pantry. One bedroom is here for a resident, and then we have our communal kitchen. And in the kitchen, everyone has a shelf in the pantry, and then if they need more shelving space, we have more shelving space for food for the residents. Everyone gets a shelf in the fridge and a part of the freezer. We have 2 fridges for the residents to share. Everyone is responsible for their own cooking in the program. We do have communal groups and dinners. This is our dining room and living area. And you can only eat in the dining room. This is where we have our meals. And this is the living room where the kids can hang out, watch TV or play games communally. And then we have over here our staff office. And this is where our case manager works. And the residents meet with her to set up their service plans and just to talk sometimes when they need to. And to do their budgeting and resumes and all the life skills we work on. This is the area going upstairs, and this is where the residents have use of their own phone. There is also a staff phone for residents to make business calls and work-related calls on. We have a staff bedroom downstairs because this is a 24-hour program, and staff stays here. And we have a powder room down here. Peekaboo. And now we're going to go upstairs where most of the bedrooms are. Hi. This is one residence room. Okay. And another residence room. Residents can set their rooms up the way they want. And we're going towards another resident room.
Hello.
And our bathroom. We have 2 bathrooms upstairs for residents to use. Residents have to do the chores of the house and keep the place. And here we have another residence room. Residents can set up their rooms the way they want. They get a TV after a month in the program, after probation. And they get a clock-in closet that they can use to store their personal possessions in there. The rooms are not locked, but the closet is their own.
How is your life different now than it was before Midway?
I'm definitely learning how to figure out how to become more independent, which is always a plus. Besides that, I'm still going to college. I'm still doing everything that I feel like I should be doing, and I'm working things out, trying to better myself. Not that I felt like there was anything wrong with me in the first place, but things are getting better.
What about Midway helped this change come about?
The staff is very, sorry about the friendly about just trying to get you to where you need. They help you with all the contacts they have and everyone that they've learned to associate themselves with, and they hook you up with, in a sense, with giving you all the contacts that they have, so they help you feel a little less lonely when you're going through this process of getting yourself where you need to be.
And what are some of the things that Midway helped you with?
Midway helped me. Midway helped me with a lot of different things. I've figured out all sorts of steps of finding independence. I now have a credit card, which I didn't before. I now know what it feels like to come back and apply to certain rules that I didn't before. All sorts of things which I knew I should be doing, but I never really applied myself into doing before. That's about it.
Okay. How are they helping you now, and what are you working on to accomplish here before you leave?
Well, I feel like I'm pretty stable as is as a person right now. My goal when I leave Midway is to basically figure out the best situation which I could put myself in, which my hopes are to continue college to the point where I can graduate. Currently going to Ulster right now, and then hopefully moving to an area possibly by where my girlfriend currently resides. Just trying to make myself happy. And with Midway, I definitely feel like I can get there.
What was your schedule like before Midway, and what is it? Well, you kind of already answered that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you said it's pretty much the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same. It feels a little more different. I mean, it's different, but the same at the same time. I'm going to college, but I'm going to a place I'm not used to, but it feels a little more organized. Definitely Midway makes you feel a little more organized in your life.
How is your life different now that you've graduated from the Midway program and are living independently?
It's very different now than it was at Midway and before Midway. Now I'm handling my own bills. I call the doctor's office on my own, and I don't panic every time I make a phone call, which was a problem for a while. I always needed somebody. When I was at Midway, there was usually somebody with me to help me, decide what I was going to say before I made a phone call to a doctor's office or an agency or something. And now I do all that on my own. I have my own apartment. I actually volunteer for family now, and I'm hoping to have an actual job soon. And previously, before Midway, there wasn't a lot of anything in the near future of possibilities for anything for me, because I was in a pretty bad emotional state. I was chronically depressed. I was in and out of the hospital due to the depression. And all that changed when I moved into Midway, but once I got to Midway, it was like stepping into a new world that I was totally terrified of, because everything was different than what I was used to. And now everything's not so scary, and I've been declassified from depression. My mental health issue list used to be very long, and now I think they just have me as an anxiety disorder, and that's it. Which is a really big difference than having OCD and ADD and PTSD and depression with anxiety, and my life is overall much better now.
What about Midway helped this change come about?
Well, previously I didn't have a lot of support, and a lot of the stuff I wanted to do with my life Like, I wanted to go to school, and a lot of time I'd be like, when I was in college, I'd be like an hour late for class because it wasn't on my family's priority list to get me to school on time, and of course it was always my fault when I was late. And then there'd be other things like I wanted to get a job, and they'd make it as difficult as possible to get a job. And it was like everything I wanted to do with my life was the wrong thing. And if they believed it was wrong, they wouldn't say I couldn't do it, they'd just make it impossible to do it. And when I got to Midway, I had a lot of support for whatever I wanted to do with my life. And if I was really determined on for something, staff was like all for it and ready to help me achieve whatever goal it was I wanted to achieve, which was great. I could, for once, make my own goals for my own life and work towards them. And if I didn't know how to reach a goal, they'd help me figure out how to reach that goal. Whether it was just figuring out how to organize things so I could reach that goal, or I needed some sort of get connected with some sort of service to help me reach that goal. Yeah.
Can you think of some things that Midway specifically helped you with?
As I said before, I used to have like a hard time, not just with like phone calls calling people, just advocating for myself for like anything at all, which was weird because I used to be naturally good at it, and then it was taught out of me with the environment I was living in, and then I couldn't advocate for me to get myself the most basic stuff, and I'd always be I'd let people walk all over me even when that person was supposed to be helping me with something, and they started out, I guess, showing me how it goes, what I need to say and what I need to do, and slowly I was able to do what they were doing for me from observation, and I eventually didn't need case management anymore and can do all those things myself now, which I couldn't do previously. So.
Now that you're living independently out of the program, are there any, life skills groups or things that maybe you used to think were silly then that you can see how they apply now?
Not really. I didn't really think any of them were silly, except for maybe like the dishwashing one, because I already knew how to do dishes. I'm obsessive compulsive. And for the ones that I knew I wasn't very good at, I was very eager to learn these things. So.
How's your life different now than it was before Midway?
Well, let's just say under a bridge is not really nice. So that's where I used to be before I was living here, and I got kicked out by my father. But really, it's really good because like it made me feel better about like the idea of living on my own and like what it could be like. I didn't mind doing chores or anything here because that's what I was used to anyway. But like I understood like how to be an individual really when I first started here, the basics of it, like how I'm learning what I need to do to get like my permit and all that stuff. All the important things that are necessities in individuals' lives.
So what about Midway helped this change come about?
The people that work here really. Like everyone here has. Like, this is their job. This is what they do for a living. So, obviously, they know what they're doing. And so they feel comfortable with communicating and talking to you about your problems and helping you figure out how to do it. And you set a target and you go for it. Really, pretty much.
What are the What are some of the things that Midway is helping you with?
Well, right now it's my goal is to get permit, license, car, apartment, and at the same time I have to be trying to work full time and go to college throughout that entire hard period.
What was your schedule like before Midway, and what is it like now?
Well, it was really kind of crazy. Like, I was always working. I immediately went from part-time to full-time because I was 18, just turned 18 when my dad kicked me out. So it was like, okay, I can work full-time now, so I need to do that. So I immediately switched to full-time. I kept the same job for almost 5 years now, and it looks good on my resume. But it's now it's kind of set. Like, it has its own ways upon it. Like, I don't have to run around like a maniac really anymore. I could just do what I have to do when I gotta do it and be okay with it.
Alright. That's it. Okay. The Midway program is a supervised transitional living program for homeless adolescents ages 16 to 20, and when necessary, their infants. There are 6 beds for adolescents, and up to 3 infants can be housed in the facility. The program serves female and male youth and targets youth who are homeless and have no family resources to fall back on. Midway is a long-term residential program, up to 18 months with round-the-clock staffing. Program staff assist the residents to assess their current strengths and skills and develop a service plan to build on them. Youth are encouraged to develop individual support networks with adults who can mentor and guide them in the development of their career vision and sense of self. Such issues as the need for counseling, mental health therapy, substance abuse rehabilitation, medical or dental attention, education, life skills competencies, legal or entitlement issues, vocational training, employment, parenting, healthy lifestyles, and behaviors are all discussed and, where appropriate, included in the plan. Short and long-term goals are set, reviewed, and updated regularly. The program provides case management, information and referral, and advocacy with all Ulster County service providers to ensure that youth are able to access the array of services that they need. In addition, Midway staff provide crisis and individual counseling to every youth and to their families whenever appropriate. Residents are instructed on how to access public transportation and are encouraged to use the bus system. Staff also provide transportation when necessary to ensure that youth are able to access the services that they need. All youth are expected to remain in or return to a school or vocational program, deal with any legal issues, address any mental health or substance abuse concerns, and or obtain full or part-time employment. The ultimate goal of the Midway program is to assist adolescents in obtaining their necessary skills to live independently and to function as a productive member of the community.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.